we know those aren't going to hit families' accounts this month, right?
Yeah.
Even though there's relief down the line, but for families who were relying on it month to month, is there any talk of executive action or anything from the White House to provide more relief for them?
We are always looking at how we can help provide relief to American families and the American people. If Build Back Better were to pass in February, there is an option of doing retroactive checks. But I would note that our objective is to get this passed. The president wants to see the child tax credit extended. Go ahead.
Follow up on testing then, if it's going to take that long.
I should say in January, sorry, in January to do February, if that makes sense. Yeah, go ahead.
Along those same lines.
Okay.
For people who see those long testing lines, you
Yeah.
have more sites, but it's cold out. People don't want to wait in that. You swing by CVS, there are no tests. While waiting for all this expanded capacity, what is your advice to people who may be going back to college and want to take a test, or they want to go see their grandparents, or whatever it might be? If their workplace says, we want you to take a self-test before you walk in, what can people do in the meantime until that capacity does get built up?
Well, it depends on the person. So it's a hard question to answer, but I would say that there are still many doctor's offices that are administering tests. If somebody has health insurance, that's something that you can go do. Everyone does not have health insurance. There are community health centers, rural health centers. You can go look online and see if there is one near you and go to that. We have just opened a number of federal testing sites in New Jersey, D.C., New York City, and Philadelphia. We will continue to expand those big federal testing sites, and we have 20,000 free sites across the country. Different communities and states are taking different steps. Some libraries are providing tests. Some community buildings are providing tests. It really depends community to community. If tests are required, there's a number of steps that people can take, and we're working to expand that as quickly as possible.
Lastly, you had mentioned rising cases. The president mentioned rising cases a little while ago. Every doctor has said that. We've also heard from Dr. Fauci and other doctors saying that's not the number to look at. We know they're going to go up, but maybe hospitalizations is a better case.
Yeah, that's an important point.
What's the president's barometer? Is there one number that he kind of gauges to get an idea of where the country is right now?
Well, what I was trying to say in response to Ed's question, again, maybe not as articulately as I'd like, is as Dr. Fauci said, one of the areas that we are concerned about and focused on is hospital capacity, and that how that is impacting medical professionals and the capacity for hospitals to take people in. So we look at a range of metrics, but we certainly look at that as we see rising cases. It is fortunate in many areas that the vast majority, if not all, of the people who are going to hospitals are unvaccinated. Not in every community; it depends community to community. So that's why we are also continuing to echo and advocate for people to get vaccinated, to get boosted, to protect themselves. That's the most important step they can take. But certainly, as Dr. Fauci said, we are looking at and concerned about hospitalizations or capacity given hospitalizations. Go ahead in the back.